Hey everyone, it's your boy Cam, and welcome to Witching Hour Banter, episode 4. And my mom actually gave me an idea for this one. I would do more than just random banter, but I just dropped a dollar bill on the floor because I'm an idiot. But I should tell stories, and I figured there's no better story to talk about than classic ones from my childhood. And there's one in particular that I wanted to talk about. I'll talk about more in the future, but for now, I think this is a good one to start. Let me grab that dollar bill, because I'm an idiot, and I don't want to lose it, because it's money. So, first, I need to give you some description about my mom. My mom is not a strict woman. She doesn't believe in harsh punishments. She doesn't believe in yelling and screaming at children. And she doesn't believe in... what's a good word to describe it? She doesn't believe in letting her kids run around and be ridiculous. And she was very persuasive in how she got us to behave. And there's a classic moment that we talk about all the time, and I hate it when my mom brings it up, but I'm going to bring it up here because that's what you guys should see. So, I was about 5 years old, and it was me, my mom, my sister, and my dad, who was still married to my mom at the time. We were going to Target. In case you don't know, I don't know how you couldn't, because there's Targets everywhere. Target's like a Walmart. It's just a random store that has everything. And let me just make sure I have my timer on me so I can make sure that I don't run over time. What was that? Oh yeah. So we went to Target, and my grandfather's birthday was coming up. And my mom walked us into the store and said, "Don't ask me for anything. We're here for Pa. We're not here to buy anything." And my sister's, alright, fine, that's fine. I wasn't going to ask for anything anyway, because that's my sister. I, with my 5-year-old mind, goes, "Okay, I can agree to that." Yeah. So, we make it through almost the entire store until I get to one section. The electronics. Now, let me tell you something. Although, you didn't have all the crazy Xboxes and PlayStation crazy crap that you have now, bells. You're gonna knock the camera over. Come here, baby. You're always here for my videos. Alright, go on. Let me actually zoom out a little bit. That's zooming in. There. Okay, that's a little better. So, I make it to the electronics center, and I forgot this is not for me, it's for someone else. And I do what any 5-year-old does when they're in a store full of stuff. There's a cattail right there, just for you guys. I see video games, I see TVs, I see cameras, I see phones. I go, Mom, I want it. And she's like, "No, I told you guys, we're not getting anything except for stuff for Pa." And I'm like, "But I want it." And this goes on for a few minutes. I'm getting more frustrated because I'm a kid. Kids get upset when they don't get what they want. And my mom's getting more and more frustrated. Not to the point where she's mad. She's more annoyed. "Told you, you're not getting anything." I start throwing a fit, and that I told. My mom does not like it when kids throw fits. So my dad takes me out of the room, or out of the store, takes me to the car. Mom finishes up shopping. She gets back to the car with my sister, and I'm still mad. I'm like, "I didn't get what I want, but I just wanted, and I'm rambling on about how I wanted something. And then my mom's like, no, you're not getting, I told you. And I get so mad. This is the part that I regret. I go, I wish I had different parents. My mom. I shouldn't have said that. Now, most parents would be like, how dare you say that? You know what? When you get home, you're going to go straight to your room. You're not going to do anything for the rest of the night. And you're not going to play any games. You're not going to watch any TV. That's not what my mom did. My mom thought ahead. She goes, oh yeah? That can be arranged. And I go, what? And we get home. And my mom calls her friend on her phone. I'm the entire time going, Mom, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Mom, I love you. No. And my mom calls one of her friends up. And she goes, just play along with this. And she goes, yeah, I have a kid here. Says he wants different parents. He's being disrespectful, and I just want to know what you can do about that. Her friend answers, as someone playing along, oh, we could take care of that. No problem. And here's me going, no! Mom, no! And I'm bawling. She's like, never mind. I think he's changed his mind. Totally serious. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she was really serious. This is the best part. This was unbeknownst to me for many years. My sister and my dad were in the other room. My dad knows that this is all a joke, obviously, because you wouldn't just get rid of your child when they say something stupid like that. But my sister was 8 at the time, so she didn't quite understand that that's probably not what she was going to do. So my sister, little girl Caitlin, turns to my dad. She goes, Mom's getting rid of Cameron. It is like the most classic moment in our lives. We bring that moment up along with 1,000 others that I'll share with you guys over time. But that is a classic moment in the Bond family line. And let me tell you something. I didn't need a spanking. I didn't need punishment. I didn't need any of that. That guilt trip that I went through was more than enough, and I've never said anything like that ever since then. That scared the crap out of me when I was 5. And I give my mom props to that one. So, and that's it. That's the end of the story. I will not make this video as long, and but I do want to bring up one thing. So in one of my other videos, I talked about restaurant etiquette, and I talked about how people with like babies in high chairs, the food gets all under the table, the baby just makes a huge mess, and the parents ignore it. And for the most part, that's true. However, I had some good luck. And on Saturday or Sunday, I believe it was Sunday, I was working from 5 to close, and I see these 2 ladies and 1 child sitting in the high chair. And they're like strict with this kid. Like, the kid drops like a couple chips, and they're like, no, you're not going to eat any more chips. They were Russian. That's not really a Russian accent. Or I assume they're Russian because the kid's name was Dmitri, and they kind of sounded Russian, but I don't know. But yeah, so they're stopping this like 2-year-old from dropping more chips on the ground. They stopped like setting up food for him because he was just gonna throw it on the ground anyway. And they just kept looking at me like, it's because he goes to this daycare. They just let him throw the food on the ground. We hate it. He's never going back there. I'm like, okay, like a busser. I'm like, I don't know how to relate to you, but all right, I'll agree, and I'll talk to you a little bit, and I'll leave. I come back, I leave, and come back, and just making my rounds, and I start like running low. Like there's no tables to be done. That's rare. So when you don't bust tables, you sweep. And so I go and I get the broom, and they stop me because they're right next to the brooms, like where we put the brooms. They stop me, and they go, "Hey, we dropped some chips, and he's dropping chips all over the place. Would you mind sweeping this up?" I'm like, "My heart, you've answered my prayers. Thank you." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I can sweep that up for you." And let me tell you something. Although that's a minor thing, that's the thing I've wanted. I want it when people ask me specifically. Because when you sweep, you can't really sweep underneath people's tables because you don't want to be rude. You don't want to invade their space. However, if they ask you specifically to do it, then you're like, yes, I can take care of something. And I swept under their table. They talked to me for a little bit, and they talked to me about this daycare that they go to where the kids all sit on a line in the floor, and there's like a little table that's like a couple inches off the ground. But when they're done with their food, they just knock it on the ground. And the parents were mad because the kid didn't used to do that before they go there. And they were just making conversation like, "Hey, I'm very sorry." And I'm like, "Trust me, you are not the worst I've seen. I've seen plenty worse." And I told the story about the 9-year-old and the 2-year-old, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous." And they stop. They stop me. And she goes, "Here." And she pulls out her wallet, and she gives me a 5. And I'm like, not only did you stop your kid from dropping food, not only did you stop me and ask me to sweep up, not only did you stack all your plates magically for me right when I'm ready for them, but you tipped me $5. Most of the time you don't get tips. If you get tips, it's $1 or $2. They gave me a 5. That is beautiful. That paid for my breakfast at midnight. That's the breakfast that I eat sometimes in bed, which I'm going to try and avoid doing because it's probably not good for the videos. They paid for that. That night they paid for it, and I was so happy. So I wanted to bring in some positivity for that one. And I would thank them. Hey, Bells. I didn't even notice you were there. Hi. You good girl? Yeah. So I'd like to thank them, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching. So like, comment, tell me some of your life stories, and look forward to seeing more of these. Again, as always, what's an outro?